Transfixed!
Shower me with the... Hold that pose! Yoo-hoo! Surge. Say cheese! Let the world collide! The moonlit night for all. Hold that pose! Breaking news! Wayne, smile! I'm getting this all on camera.
Laid bare. This is where you fall. Overruled.
Yoo-hoo! Surge. Say cheese! At least I documented. A new moon rises.
Laid bare.
Would you care to sit down? If you ever have any... All tasks...
What could the children? Grabbed.
Is something wrong?
Monsieur Neurvalette and Lady Farina, they seem to have gotten into a dispute. Please go see for yourself.
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little space for excuses between us. It is not my intention to offend you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalor, are you not? Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson incident.
You mean...
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster. I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson. Do you know anything about those?
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know anything about that. But you found them in some ancient ruins, you say?
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 feature different images that seem to correlate to the prophecy.
The prophecy?
The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before a floating island in the sky, as if confessing something. Do you know nothing of this either?
I don't. I've never seen such slates.
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no information regarding the previous Archon? My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize for, a certain sin. If anyone would know about it, it should be you.
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself, and I understand your concerns, but I'm sorry. I just don't have anything to tell you.
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina, but I have long known of your various secret investigations into certain matters. There are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the sly. This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets, as well as do nothing following your inquiries. You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your behavior is very inconsistent.
So you've been watching me all this time, have you? I didn't think you were that type.
You...
Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then you should know I'm actually working to take care of it.
There's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. You should be following my lead. Just trust in me. You're Archon, and do as I say. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself to or not. It'll all turn out fine. That's all I have to say. We do not discuss— Oh! The opera's about to start.
Did Farina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her. She was
I assume you've been outside for a while.
Oh! You noticed! Seems Farina didn't even realize we were here.
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs that we cannot allow to continue. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the basis for understanding, so why did she keep refusing to engage? Everyone in her inner... We may have to create a situation in which she will have no choice but to speak.
Oh?
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial. Perhaps we must have the Hydro Archon experience just such a scenario.
But Farina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do we make sure that she won't just slip away at the first chance she gets?
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what we can. If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but we must prevent the prophecy from coming to pass. This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god possesses is too precious. But who will lend us their aid to do such a thing?
Well, that's everyone, huh? Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid of people. That naturally makes it the best choice.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing in the world, huh?
That's what families should do. Sit and enjoy a leisurely time together.
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for a cup?
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Me? No, I don't think I can.
Then, how about you, good sir?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as it is in court.
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things. Wonderful, the spotlight at last. I guess I'll be facilitating things from here.
That was a little long-winded, don't you think?
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, as for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create a series of traps.
Oh?
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just learned from Chlorand, and used on the spot. So, let's invite her to
Huh? Didn't you say that
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice.
I see.
He is glad that you consider him your boss.
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Not that I recall.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for
I've also gone diving to catch some fish before.
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to a group known as the Marechaussee Hunter. Though that was their name, they did not hunt animals, but rather various Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society, taking up arms in other lines of work. A trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. Sometimes a lethal implement will also be necessary. So, if we were to build a trap to...
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the bait and naturally enter. Our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you even performed some magic for the bawling children.
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods, like placing bait in the water and waiting for the fish to come within reach. That's the kind of method I would count on.
Calm and steady. Exactly the kind of person who would catch loads of fish.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion,
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought me some small clockwork squirrels, mice, and such. When placed in the forest, I remember that you liked those too, didn't
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it. if they're realistic enough.
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I fear I do not have any related...
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly, without the use of any such. But I do have one more question. If we were to create a trap now,
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to the prey.
kind as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change the containment device and the type of implement we need. If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be captured and safely contained.
Wait.
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line that divides life and death is often exceedingly thin.
Huh. We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters.
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting... But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a...
Oh, so that's...
It's been a tough few days, hasn't it? So much. Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just looked a little surprised. Well... It's hard to say. Paimon doesn't have any experience with this sort of thing. But with you around, Paimon sure will do great. After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you? Did you just pour some tea? Paimon didn't notice you do... Then what's that? Paimon's never seen that cup...
Don't be frightened.
Who's that voice?
What a and yet, even you consider me a pass... Precisely. Call me in, a mage who wanders the world. The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesized...
What?
People call such things fate, and it is written in the stars. It cannot so easily be all... Ah, so you've caught on. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, are the things that you shall see different from the
What is she talking about?
I believe that you understand, right? Ultimately, fate shall serve... This was good.
The voice. What? Paimon hears someone talking. Alright, coming! Hey, it's you who's getting...
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively band.
Luna!
Fine, just not all fun.
Did...
Why, yes, it was. I'm in full support of her view. Prophecies are very important, but how can people allow their lives to be commandeered by just a few words?
That's right! Paimon's glad to hear something sensible for once.
Ah, yes. About what we had discussed before. I did... Huh? Goodness gracious. Are you...
She said that even the god's gaze has blind spots. Pretty bold if you ask Paimon. Most people would believe the gods to be all-knowing, right?
The Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times.
She said that N's sense of direction is incredible, and that she loves guiding those who are lost. But I've never met her, and if she were still alive, she'd be... well, suffice it to say that the hag's at least a few hundred now, and N's been around for longer than that.
Whoa. The Hexen Circle sounds like a scary group. But they must really stay in shape to live so long.
Their abilities alone are pretty terrifying. If she came to see you personally, then the problem you're facing must truly be of great importance.
Well, it's not like
Yes, she was quite crip. Perhaps it is something that you can... Traveler, Paimon?
Oh, we're fine. We're just...
I see. I guess you could consider me someone who has often witnessed, but even so, perhaps that's what N was trying to tell you. Not to lose... I did originally think of steering clear of all this, but I couldn't.
Huh. You do have a point.
There, it was worth trying to comfort you, even if I suppose that might be why we always seem to meet by coincidence.
Paimon feels kind of moved by what Mona said. But hey, Traveler, Paimon suddenly feels like going outside for a walk. Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by. Huh? Let Paimon see! The underwater... My recent attempts to enter the fortress bore. Thus, did an Outlander friend become the focus of this report? A blind adventurer with their white... So while the fortress's interior remains a mystery behind closed doors, do not journalist Charlotte's biggest scoop yet. Huh. Charlotte took so many awesome photos of us and we never even noticed her. She hasn't been able to get a hold of anything at the fortress, so since we... seriously? Well... We're here! Paimon's hungry. Should we go in and get something to eat? Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition only 16 slices a day cake! It was so delicious the last time we tried it!
1 slice of cake, please.
Someone showed up after all! Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too? It seems Monsieur Nervalette was right.
Wait, did he really say...
That's right. Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food. As for me, I love the cake and coffee here.
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my cake and coffee.
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closed?
But why would it close?
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but...
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I have... No, it's the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow, but if you can do so today, then you should carry on. That's what people call living, you know.
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices of cake to go? These 2 slices are for you. Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call being sad.
Oh, you know Sijuin?
I sure do. She was born before me, and she sometimes comes to the surface to teach us things about humans. She said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily, yes, and you can only lift their spirits by feeding them delicious food. So please try the cakes here. I've got something else to do, so I'll be going now. You two try to stay in a good mood after eating, all right? Bye.
And there she goes. All right, let's dig in. Paimon's sure this cake will be delicious. It's more delicious than last time! And the flavor gets even better with a sip of tea. It sure would be nice if we could come again tomorrow. Sure would be nice if we could always eat delicious food here. Oh, we're near the Steambird office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
Wow! If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon!
Ha! You got some nerve!
Oh, you needn't. It's all right, though. I've said...
Really?
You're...
Oh, Paimon!
Still, what bring...
A friend of ours met you a while back. And
Ah, so she mentioned...
she said that you're...
Nice.
Huh?
Oh, of course it doesn't. That was...
Yeah.
Why not?
Oh.
Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! Ooh, so much...
Wait, Charlotte. Paimon's still got a question for you.
And what's that?
If... just for
Huh. That's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it? I mean, I do hear about it often, but... if you're seriously asking, then I might try and think of a way to leave Fontaine. Oh, but I'm still a journalist first and foremost. From what I've seen, most people don't know what they'd do should the worst come to pass. In truth, it might be better just to behave like normal rather than worry over such an... So in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview. Just think about it. If this nation really were... And then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that story, send it for printing, and use messenger pigeons to get copies out. I'm not a dreamer, nor am I a workaholic. But I do love my job. And I'd be proud of leaving such an article behind. But anyway, that's my answer.
That's so nice. All of it. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we? The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty soothing combo, huh? Paimon's been thinking. If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Tevat that would... No, Paimon should have... We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much... You mean, still traveling? Huh. Feels like you'll grow mold if you stay here long enough. But it's still better than the Fortress of Mirapede, that's for sure.
So the two of you are still here.
Oh, you're from the Palais
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillat sent me to look for... Not at all. I'm well aware that you're friends of his. Yes, inside the Opera House. The Maréchaussée Phantom has declared the incident a small-scale riot.
A riot?
Well, that said, I don't personally think it was that serious. Lady Farina was watching a performance at the Opera House, and while she was resting during an intermission, some other audience members suddenly started harassing her, loudly accusing her of doing nothing about the prophet. And before she could respond, the crowd continued to grow and protest against the Hydro Archon.
So people have started to put the blame on Farina. Guess they finally found an outlet for the pressure they've been under due to the prophecy.
I agree. People will naturally rely on gods, as is customary. But the moment people feel threatened, gods are also the first to be blamed.
So what happened after that? Is Farina okay?
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, she claimed that she'd gotten tired of this and left in a hurry. The Marechaussee Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Farina had gone. Only when things had stabilized did we realize that she had gone missing.
So, you mean she's still missing?
That's right. The Marechaussee has dispatched That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. Good. Monsieur Nervous...
Don't worry, this is more than enough.
Ah, is that so? Well, all right then. In that case, you two take care. I'll be heading back to the Palais now.
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then. If we know Farina, and as we also know, she may be loud and dramatic, but she doesn't have a heart of stone. When Nervalet was talking to her in the Palais Mermonia, and she heard about Poisson, she couldn't hide her sadness and remorse. It would be hard for her to... Paimon thinks Farina's probably taken the opportunity to slip away to Poisson and try to relieve... Huh! Well, what do you think? Paimon, in that case, there's not a moment to... This place looks deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs of devastation. Could Farina really be here? Let's try to find her as soon as possible. That's Farina, right over there.
What was meant to happen did happen after all. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Give up. I'm sorry. But what can I even do other than to repeat? Who's that?
Don't worry, Farina. It's just us.
So it is you, blonde traveler from another land. Why, I almost thought you were someone from that mob of my ignorant subjects. Come to kneel and beg for my forgiveness.
Farina, you were crying just now, weren't you? The tear stains on your face are obvious.
What do you mean, tear stains? Oh, I remember. Who did that uncivilized rabble think they even dare to tout their Archon? I must teach them a lesson. Oh, and I'm sure Nouvellette and those people from the Marechaussee Phantom are freaking out right next to them, too.
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there! Quick, after her!
Farina, those people seem to be after you.
They are? They're just some rabid fans who want to cut the line because they haven't been able to meet me in person, aren't they? That's against the rules.
Farina just ran off! Quick, we have to catch up with her! This should be the place, right? Hey, Farina! There's a good hiding spot over here. Quick, come to Paimon before the...
What? What?
Hurry, they're almost here!
Fine, I suppose. Hey. I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm they displayed.
Yep, that... earthquake of this kind preceded the flooding in Poisson, didn't it?
It can't be.
Well, there's no need to worry too much about that. Nevertheless,
Yeah, I hope you're right. But the people of Poisson... It's true. I've been investigating. I once had informants all over Tevat. I've tried all kinds of ways, too, to hold back the sea. But all my efforts proved to be futile, and we cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly principles will have its way, and the prophecy shall be fulfilled. Give up. I've thought about giving up. Fate is really unreasonable, but just now, it all became clear to me. I still don't, as long as the final moment hasn't come. It's still not too late, don't worry. Well, that's enough for now. I got the impulse to play the stricken maiden. Don't take any of what I just said seriously.
come on! Paimon could have...
Cher, that's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone. A witness. Yes. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a...
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my opening performance. Now, without further ado, we may proceed to the trial of our god.
So, this is what it is. Do not forget, however, that I am Focalor, the god.
May I interpret these words as your refusal? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
You would draw your blade against a... I see. It seems like you have made up your mind.
Paimon can't believe it. She just surrendered.
What the heck is going on?
Wow.
Lady Farina, what?
It would seem that there has been a misunderstanding. To be clear,
Looking for excuses again.
I raised my hands just now to indicate my I will admit that I'm sorry, everyone. I was unable to You are not the only ones to be disappointed in me. But now, it is I, Farina, will use this trial to show the world the true meaning of justice! This time, I will protect you. Applaud and rejoice. One of the most outrageous and fantastical arcs known to the opera epiclese is now unfolding before your eyes. Mark my words, this shall be one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of Fontaine. The trial of the Hydro Archon, Focalor, will now begin!
Woohoo! Oh, now we're making history!
Why does it feel like Farina just took over the whole thing? Like, come on! Didn't she just get forced to stand trial for her crimes? Also, even though she's still acting super dramatic, she is taking this serious.
All right, then. Who?
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Is that so? Very well. Also, please allow me to ask, as a final question before the trial begins. Just how much work did you do to force me?
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were—
Navia, the president of—
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They changed into plain clothes and came to the Opera House as regular audience members, waiting for the perfect opportunity to incite insurrection against you. The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy is fulfilled. A spark was all we needed to turn smoldering anger into a flame. Moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, when something like that occurred, you would likely flee the scene and head to Poisson by yourself. So, we arranged for a second group.
So, you mean... the ones who scoured the settlement for me were also—
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box so you may personally participate in the greatest magic performance in all of Fontanian history.
And that's right. That house was a magic box, rather than someone's residence.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed at the Opera Epiclese, the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Araneas. Its cargo, of course, was an Archon instead of a human. My thanks, Farina. Without your help, we could never have— Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support. The House of the Hearth spent a massive amount of labor in Mora to pull this off. We had to select a location, construct the giant magic box, dig a tunnel, and open up a path through the water. It was a lot of work for all of us.
So, in other words, the earthquake that we felt within the giant magic box was just a normal tremor from the transportation of the whole house?
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
Then, I can guess Nervilette and Cloran's parts. You gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and made sure that the champion duelist would be immediately ready. Also that as soon as I appeared on the stage—
Yes, that is correct.
Well, Clorand, I must commend you for your courage. Only the most outstanding champion duelist in all of Fontaine would accept a duel with an Archon. As for you, Traveler, I suppose your role was to keep me distracted with conversation once you found me in Poisson. You'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we'd arrived onto the stage.
Oh?
It's fine. It mattered. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience. Let's see this trial through to the very end.
Madam Prosecutor, please allow me to pass this along. This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission.
Huh? Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here too! Oh, let Paimon see. Isn't this the Wait, then that means this document? So in other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want to use something from our journey as evidence for an argument. Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
You defeated the Hydro Archon in the very first duel you took part in at the Opera House.
That's one for the history books, all right. I didn't think that you'd wind up getting to the bottom of the case I'd been following all this time. I guess you could also see this as a happy coincidence. This is the first time Monsieur Neuvillette had a difference of opinion with the Oratrice. Even the Hydro Archon can't figure it out. A Fatui Harbinger. She's an extraordinary person. Her instinct must mean something. The fortress of Meripede was almost destroyed in a single day. That I didn't witness that scene personally will always be a source of professional regret, I think. According to Monsieur Neuvillette, both Child and that whale should have been in the primordial sea at that time. I nearly lost my awesome friend Navia. To be honest, that still gives me shivers. The words of someone as extraordinary as a witch can probably only be truly understood when something so...
The prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
Oh, come on. Just fast forward to the part where the prosecution lays out my offenses. As the defendant and the lead actress of this performance, I still haven't even been informed of my supposed guilt in all of this. Of course, it is only natural for humans.
That's true, but my charge here is unrelated to your conduct instead. I would like to charge you as a fraud, who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Wait, what was that? Lady Farina's a fraud?
Hey, I came here thinking that we were going to try the Hydro...
Charge accepted. Lady Farina, do you... Lady Farina.
I plead not guilty. There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Farina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could be anything other than your true Archon.
Yeah.
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon ever since they were born. There would be no fooling their memory. See? Even the Oratrice has decided to show me its favor. Are you sure you want to commit to a charge that will never be upheld? If you wish to drop the case, I can promise you as the God of Justice that you will not have to face trial for making a false accusation. We will treat everything that's...
An argument with near impossible odds, huh?
Well, I tried to give you the chance to surrender. If you must... And if I was not the Archon...
First of all, you may be a member of another long-lived race, which would allow you to naturally possess an extended lifespan. And second of all, even if that wasn't the case, there could be other ways to extend your life.
Who gave you that idea? Was it the knave? You'd sink.
A curse. I once thought it possible that the aura of an Archon might naturally resemble, but in light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed was not your divinity, but a curse after all.
Neuvillette sensed it too, huh?
Lady Farina is actually a human?
Well, it is true that it's extremely difficult to tell humans and gods apart just by looking at them. It's not impossible.
Well, don't start celebrating too early now. Besides, everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god is the possession of For centuries, manifestations of my authority have one need only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal in this very opera.
That doesn't sound right. You tried to reference the Oratrice, but weren't you as confused as all the rest?
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of—
Lady Farina, I believe a reminder of your current while the court is in session, the principles of justice and the law must come before all else. You will prove yourself unable to defend against the prosecution's charges if you—
I never thought.
That was no trick of rhetoric, Lady Farina. I've merely
So, you neither knew why Child was declared guilty instead of having been created by you. The manifestations of authority you mentioned have been made by the real Hydro Archon, haven't they?
The real Hydro Archon. It is true that I did not know why the Oratrice gave, but the Oratrice handed out that verdict unilaterally. And it has been operating independently ever since it was first created. You can't argue that just because a divine creation is flawed, that the god behind it must also be no god at all.
She's still throwing out all kinds of excuses. Seems like she's confident that we won't be able to produce proof that she has no power over the Oratrice.
My power as an Archon.
If that poses a concern, I'm
You don't need to go that far.
Aren't you the Hydro Archon? Or is it that you can't even wield the power of Hydro?
Indemnitium! Yes! It's all because of Indemnitium! All Archons derive their— Thus did I give up all of my divine power to provide everyone with energy for—
Isn't that?
Yeah, no matter how generous an Archon can be, how could they give up all their power? Can a god—
It seems like nobody's buying Farina's excuse.
Hey, come now, everyone! Please don't— I'm still the same Farina you knew, please! You've got to believe me!
If what the prosecutor said is true,
Did she deceive all of us? And all of our parents and grandparents?
Enough! That's enough! Tell me then, if you have no evidence of another Hydro Archon's existence.
Wow, she came up with yet another argument. That doesn't sound right. It has been established that all Fontanians can
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can use right here and now to eliminate all suspicions of you being the latter.
Miss Navia, please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court. Though you act in partnership with the—
Super sorry, Monsieur Chief Now, I've brought some seawater from Poisson. Including those— So, Miss Farina, if we are to believe that you are indeed the real Hydro Archon, but if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse. Oh, and I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, nobody will— I do hope you'll act prudently and choose the simpler path of
Navia from the Spina di Rasula. The Spina has governed Poisson for many years.
If Lady Farina is indeed just a human, she's probably Fontanian like all the rest of us.
Lady Farina, this test has been unilaterally proposed by the prosecution, as it falls outside the realm of—
Well, of course he had to tell her that, but refusing to participate—
She's just staring at the water without saying a single—
What's going on? Is she—
Due to the inherent risk of the test, Lady Farina, you may—
What?
Hey!
I'm fine! Look at me, everyone! Will you believe me now? I really am your Archon! I'm nothing—
Miss Siegewing, If you are present, Miss Siege.
Siege? Don't be nervous. That should be enough.
Please announce the results of your...
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Farina was displaying She was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater. The extent to which she was affected is the same as other...
Thank you, Miss Siegeween. Lady...
Oh, wait. What did she just say?
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problems, we did originally... However, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to... We don't want anyone else to...
Yeah, so out of regard for Farina's life, you secured a low-concentration sample and asked the head nurse to It's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually you.
I can't... Listen to me, everyone! Please don't think about it! How can you conclusively prove that an Archon can't also be... Also, if I was really just a human, what... Please, anyone, just listen to me! I swear, I really am your Archon!
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. The odds are just too stacked against her now.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think there's any way left for...
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. She's too stacked against her now.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Farina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Farina is... guilty. We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Farina is...
Well, what's wrong? What's the Oratrice's verdict?
No, the Oratrice also
Isn't that correct?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus: to be punished via the death...
That's actually one of the available sentences? I've always thought that...
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court, and it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice? What an unexpected twist.
Farina's been sentenced to death by the Oratrice? We just wanted to use the trial to show her the seriousness of things so she'd tell us the truth. How did things escalate this quickly?
This outcome is indeed quite strange. According to Fontaine's current definitions of justice, as well as its recommendations for criminals, is this sentence really appropriate?
Yeah! Even Fauché wasn't sentenced to death by the Oratrice. You know, the real evil mastermind behind the serial disappearances case.
Indeed. Not only is Farina's sentence overly excessive, the very point of our trial, but now, the Oratrice seems to have deliberately invoked the title of the Hydro Archon. What does this mean?
Excuse me, if I may interrupt. Is The trial's still going?
Fremine! You finally made it.
Mm-hmm. Any mission.
Is that the first prophecy sling? Huh. So the knave privately...
I looked everywhere and finally found it at the bottom of the sea. It took me a long time to get, but has the trial already concluded? Then, doesn't that mean I've come to...
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremine. Please allow me to review the record left on the... Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the other existing slates.
Huh? So what do you see?
I believe I've now made sense of the Hydro Archon's crime.
Huh? Isn't the Hydro Archon just guilty of deceiving her people? Oh, so when you say Hydro Archon...
In truth, everything that you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be traced back to... However, I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently make to you.
Okay, let's try to recall the contents of the other 3 stones... The first stone slate describes what you just said. It seems to show the previous Hydro Archon using her divine power, and then the Oceanids turn into humans. Does that mean that Fontainians are transformed Oceanids? Oh, but the second stone slate shows Celestia floating in the sky, and the Hydro Archon and her people worshipping it together. But the heavens still brought judgment down upon them. This must be the point when the Hydro Archon and the Fontainians were branded with their original sin. Does this mean that the third slate shows the Hydro Archon seeking into the sea surrounded by many people? Huh. That reminds well, the fourth slate is the prophecy the Fontainians have been talking about. People dissolving into the sea, the Hydro Archon crying on her throne, and so on. We didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen at first, did we?
We know from the case of the serial disappearances of young women, and the first stone slate tells us that long ago, this might be the reason that Fontainians can dissolve. Perhaps what is about to take place has all happened before. The true sin of the Hydro Archon that Nervilette mentioned, and the original sin cast down on the people of Fontaine by Celestia as recorded on the stone slates. It's not as simple as falling into the sea. The stone slates show the people gathered around the Hydro Archon in the sea. The prophecy from the stone slates found its way into society. The fortress of Meropide was nearly flooded with primordial seawater, which we know can cause Fontaine if we hadn't dealt with it in time.
They'll dissolve into the primordial sea but won't cease to exist. Their essence will flow in the seawater, converge, and take the form of... The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present. Perhaps this means that actually Fontaine's original sin. Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people of Poisson in a court within her consciousness, and was forced to take part in a trial meant to make her stay. The eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Meripede was the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass no matter what. The stone slate's content can all be verified by recent events. If we combine what we know together, loads of truths should come to light. It now, so that's how you can make sense of it. But then it feels like we're going to have to share some truly shocking revelations.
Let's hear them.
Incredible. Linny, did you hear that?
We're not real humans.
All Fontanians were originally created by the late previous Hydro Archon. The evidence for that can be found in how only Fontanians could dissolve in primordial seawater, and how all the girls Vacher dissolved were also... Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get dissolved, she also saw everyone gathered around for a trial, all of them in the shape of Oceanids.
Indeed.
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first slate that she probably anchored Celestia by creating... That could also explain why the Oratrice judged the Hydro Archon to be guilty. It's to account for that ancient sin.
The Hydro Archon's true sin?
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to try to judge the Archon within the Opera Epiclese. The twists of history are often the most...
Yeah! Isn't the image here just like when Navia fell into the sea? So wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon also falling into the sea once the prophecy has been fulfilled in the fourth slate? In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Did Paimon get all that right?
You've made some keen deductions. I must say, given how much you still don't know, however, while you were able to decode all the information on the slates, they've also been etched within a... When we were at the ruins, I tried to decipher the hidden information recorded in the slates. But since we only had 3... Now that the slate collection is complete, I shall make another attempt to decipher the narrative record...
What?
I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all the people of your hypotheses regarding the origin of Fontanians. In the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon their desire to become of a similar kind. However, even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life, the Hydro Archon, as one of the 7, did not possess the authority to create a new form of human life. Not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this planet's primordial sea. She poured primordial seawater into the Oceanids' blood vessels, creating humanoid mimics in the process. But if Fontanians were to ever come into direct contact with water from the primordial sea, the power within their bodies would escape these artificial restraints and return to the sea. As a result, their forms would collapse, and they would be reverted to their original forms as Oceanids. Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history of how the people of Fontaine first came into being.
So we were all...
That's way too much information for me. I think I'm just going to pretend that I never heard a single thing. Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydro Archon be sentenced to death. After all, her only sin was creating a...
This really might be too much information for your regular...
Alas, your hypothesis regarding the third and fourth stone slates was inaccurate. The slates' respective positions are, in fact, correct. A key point of the visual on the third slate is how all the individuals depicted in the water are humans rather than Oceanids. They have not been dissolved, which implies that the water depicted in this slate is not. The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well as the nation of trials and justice. Instead of being the literal element, the water in the scene symbolizes judgment and justice. You may also recall Navia's experience. When she fell into the sea, her consciousness was surrounded by that of many others who intended to hold a trial to determine her fate. Therefore, the meaning of the third slate is that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the... Yes,
I think I'm following now. So, in truth, everything we've done has happened exactly as the prophecy foretold.
What should we do?
Huh. No matter what,
If that's the case, does that mean the sea...
Traveler, I would like to point out another about the fourth slate. You probably thought that the eruption of primordial seawater beneath the fortress of Merope. However, I believe that rather than being a sure sign, that eruption could in fact... As for the root cause of the catastrophe, I believe you've already This eruption was just a small warning of the things to come. We must find the root cause of the disaster.
It was both dream and reality.
If we're talking about a true culprit, that could only be that thing inside the primordial sea, right?
The truth, the original sin, the trial, and the root cause of the disaster.
So we've met it at last. I understand very well why it is. That whale does not belong to Tevat. It has been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea, using it to grow. That is the main cause for the rising sea levels. And once it has finished consuming all of the energy contained within the sea, its next step will be...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontanians out of Oceanids, she filled their blood vessels with primordial...
Precisely. That whale finds the... Therefore, when it left the primordial sea...
We just barely managed to push it back, right? In that case, won't it come back to target the people again once it's managed to recover its strength?
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank that Harbinger for buying us some time. Without him, from the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
That battle maniac. We've always known that he had a special connection with that whale, but we definitely didn't expect it to help us out like... Anyway, now that we know that this whale is the actual cause of the disaster...
It is too late. It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. Even if the entirety of Tevat were to be destroyed, it could...
That's not... We've already done everything. We've come so far.
Indeed. That's not how
I'll fight it to the end. No matter...
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
The prophecy... Yes. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from... Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide.
What's happening with the oratories?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
Farina! No, I still need answers!
You...
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just too amusing. I couldn't help myself.
You are not Farina. Who are you?
The sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question, I am Focalor. You know, the god.
Focalor? Why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else too, if I was to stand any chance of deceiving the heavenly principles.
Deceiving the heavenly principles?
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine condemned to be flooded.
One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor. That's the former Hydro Archon Egeria for the uninitiated. It hardly gets more disastrous than a preordained national catastrophe, now does it? She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass. And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principles at one's peril. So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found myself in. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I finally realized there was only one possible solution to this confounding conundrum. I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least, while saving everyone at the same time. I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her successor. Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the task of saving the nation, the quotidian duties of the Hydro Archon, and not to mention the original sin of creating a new race of humans, I dare say she left me quite a colossal mess to clean up. But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose to be one of her Oceanid familiars.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids?
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being. The me you see before you now is that divinity. And the human counterpart I left behind, I named Farina. She could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited, or as meek and vulnerable. Her strengths were of a kind only a human could possess, as were her shortcomings. But in my eyes, Farina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human in every way. The person I always wanted to be. Anyway, so then I cursed her. All part of the plan, of course. The plan to Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Farina to be an actress, to play the part under the curse I placed on her. So long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of happiness. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady. I suppose now you probably understand.
But Farina is only human. Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other ordinary human being. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure.
It has indeed. And although she is, in a sense, me in human form, it's been 5 and all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time.
So, who permitted you to come onto this stage? Now, I understand your admiration for my august self, but I must ask you to keep to the rules. All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you. There is no need to state your name. Just be off with you. I am Focalor. The eyes of countless Fontanians are upon me. Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The gods shall resolve it soon enough. Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards? Wait, where are the guards? Guards! Farina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are you?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid. I am before you.
Wait a moment. You're near me? How can this be?
Mirror you, huh? You know what? That's not bad. Let's go with that.
Mirror me? What do you wish to say?
The prophecy. Have you heard of it?
What prophecy? Wait. I know. I think. I don't know why, but it's in my head somehow. The people will all be dissolved into the water.
Oh.
What's going on?
Yes, it will. And that is why.
But doesn't that mean everyone will die?
Oh, don't worry. Magical meetings exist in this world. I will tell you how to save everyone, but...
Oh, so there's still... As for the suffering, but if the prophecy will come true, I'll also die anyway, right? So if there were scales, with all the people of Fontaine on one side, and...
I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs to you.
Huh?
Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen well. Fontaine has just lost its Hydro Archon. That's right. You must begin a never-ending masquerade. You must never... If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way of defying this prophecy.
But how will I do this?
Don't worry. What you must do is not to turn yourself into a real god. Being a human yourself, I'm sure you all remember. Your true challenge will not be...
I'm still... So, how long...
To accomplish this mission, you will have to stay on the stage, but I promise you, all will.
A trial, huh? The Maison Cardinalise has announced my accession, but this is my first time facing the people. What should I say to most appear like a god? To be honest, I still don't know. Ladies, I'm sure you've all heard about how I have taken on the role of Hydro. In truth, I know little about becoming a nation's new god. As the god Focalor, the god of justice, I shall do all within my power. Once again, thank you all for coming. If you should have any questions or suggestions, please send them to the Maison Cardinalise. The future of Fontaine will... I thought I might stammer, but thankfully, I was able...
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity would be a bit more assertive.
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions there at the end.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest. What's the difference between her and an ordinary person, then?
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just be a Maison-backed puppet.
Wait, what's going on? Why is everyone suspecting me of being a fake? Oh, this is bad. If I get exposed here, there'll be no saving the people from the prophecy. Right. Mirmi said that I just need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Calm down, Farina. Think. What do the people want? How would they imagine a god to speak and act? Assertive, with a strong sense of presence. One who can dispel all doubt. That is the character I'm fated to play. Oh, now, I was wondering if some weak puppet were to what... Well, it seems that you would all see right through them. Having passed my test, you are qualified. You may consider my previous act a door gift of sorts. I thought... Now then...
So that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera house?
Her personality. It's quite shocking, to be honest, but I suppose it's a better look than before.
Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful! Our future may yet be bright after all.
It seems I've turned them around. Best follow this flow and restart my accession speech. My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, keep faith in your ardor for justice. We have heard it said that this nation's sins can no longer be washed away. Well, I say that justice is most fragrant. No, this won't work. They'll suspect me again. I must play the role that they want me to play. The scales of justice should not weigh heavy. May law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. Let us light the fires and drink to the future of... There is no trouble in this world that justice cannot solve. All that is needed is for you, my people, to believe in it, heart and soul. So long as I, the Archon Focalor, stand within the Opera Epiclese, so long as I stand before the Oratrice, I shall even judge the gods of this world!
Lady Farina, here are today's case reports, as well as a summary of the follow-up for your perusal.
Come now. Was I not just at the Opera House in person? Leave these kinds of things to Neuvillette. Besides, none of these trials were the one that I'm looking forward to the most.
If I may be so impertinent, what kind of trial are you truly looking forward to?
A magnificent, dramatic, and wondrous trial. A trial to end all things. How could you hope to understand?
That's true. I fear I lack the ability to grasp your divine thought, Lady Archon.
No need for fright, and do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now, do your duties. The trial I await. It will come one day.
Lady Farina, I don't know what to say. Thank you for agreeing to see me.
No need to thank me. Or rather, thank your own sense of perseverance instead. Long have you stood in line to meet me, have you not? Oh, I'm afraid that's just an inevitable consequence. All right. Deuteria, is it? How is your son's illness?
You remembered me, and you knew of my family, too. He is doing much better now. In fact, he is far more of an ardent believer than I. He was the one who forced me to seek an audience.
Oh, good. Very good. If this should happen again in the future, please do not...
You're such a gentle and wise god. Thank you once again, on behalf of my son.
Lady Farina, here are the latest hydrological reports. As for the specific parameters you asked to take note of, I'm afraid things still don't look good.
I see. It's as I thought, then. As your god, I did already expect this, but I wanted to see how far your human wisdom would allow you to analyze it. All manner of signs indicate that the prophecy will still come to pass. Forget it. That's not something you need to worry about right now.
Well, as I understand it, the Fontaine Research Institute is also trying to find a way to counter the rising water levels.
Really? Have they found anything?
I'm afraid that they haven't found any effective solution thus far.
Oh, is that so? Well, no wonder. This issue has reached the realm of the gods after... The day is finally over. I haven't had a moment, but it's good to see that everything's getting... Maybe this is fine.
Lady Farina, here are the new trial reports for the latest case.
There'll be no need for that. I've seen them already. There's no need to go back over scenes I've witnessed in person before.
Lady Farina, I've waited so long for this chance to see you in this manner.
Indeed, my dear, loyal citizen.
Lady Farina, we're detecting significant...
Understood. I just don't know when these days will end. I feel utterly exhausted.
Lady Farina, it's like a dream being able to speak with you up close like this. I've heard that the first member of our family who was honored to receive an audience with you was Madame Dioteria, almost 20 generations ago.
And what a fine family yours is indeed. It brings me great joy to meet such a faithful believer. A descendant of a line most ardent.
Surely you exaggerate, Lady Farina. My lady?
What is it, good citizen?
Are you crying?
Oh, really now? I didn't even notice. This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god whose dominion is the waters, can I?
No wonder. No wonder. A manifestation of your power, then. Oh, Archon, I am honored to have witnessed it. Honored indeed.
So interminable. So lonely. Just how much longer? Hundreds of years must have passed by now. I never imagined that it would hurt so if I reached my limit. I want to tell someone. Anyone. I've conducted so many investigations across the centuries. All I can do is keep heart. I must maintain this act. It is the only way to save Fontaine. Please, mirror me. You have to succeed.
Farina, you don't have to shoulder this burden alone. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone, your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
Share. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness.
A witness? Yes. I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes? In other words, you never belonged here. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage...
she's right. But if things don't... No, Farina. But what if... Farina, you've worked so hard. Is it such an outrageous thing to do anyway? If you let this opportunity slip, think about it. Long and hard. No, I have nothing to say. All you need to do, dear spectator, is to
Fine.
So even Farina doesn't know the truth? You've never once let her in on the full plan?
Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the heavenly principles, you must first deceive yourself. She did very well. If she had let her resolve falter even once, and it seems that trusting humanity was the right decision after all.
I believe that I understand how your deception works, but that is only half the truth, is it not? How would you build on this foundation to save the...
Ah, good, good. Of course, the Iudex of Fontaine has pinpointed the crux of the issue. I'm sure you've long sensed that...
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Lenny did mention that he heard a human voice. It now seems that that person was you.
And then I became one with the oratories, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes, it would seem so. Alas, your understanding of this device... In truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is, in fact, a device created to kill the god of justice. Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the oratories take down the god of justice... I mean... Did you think I would be... My work over these last 500 years has been to But really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the vast majority has been, had to be, accumulated.
It was all part of your plan.
Indeed. This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontainians for millennia, had it only been used for that purpose. Almost all of it has now been stored within the oratories. But only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro Archon's divine throne, shaking the rules established by Celestia, and breaking through the institution that is the Seven.
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Farina nor Focalor, but for the Hydro Archon. The destruction of that divine throne. If I do not misunderstand your intent, you must be...
Returning what's right. In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro Dragon of this planet.
But...
Oh, what? Getting sad again, are we? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydro Dragon Sovereign. And this is the face you make.
All you've done throughout the years is just so you can sacrifice yourself at the very end.
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Even now, I'm quite pleased at how well my deception worked. Hydro Dragon, don't cry. I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly principles themselves. Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea. and the heavenly principle stole the power you ancient dragons possessed. I, for my part, am the god of justice. And is it not just that your original powers should be returned to you? Speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies in the process of pursuing human existence itself. So, if the theft of the primordial sea's might was Fontaine's original sin, then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontanians as humans and their right to exist in this world would be Fontaine's original justice. In other words, existence was Egeria's justice, and to me, justice is the continuation of that existence. Defying the prophecy and ensuring that Fontaine's people shall live on, that should be the justice enthroned over all others. At this point, we, whether it be myself or all other Fontanians, have shouldered the burden of this sin for far too long. Iudex Nervillet, the highest judge in our land, when you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign, what verdict shall you pass upon us?
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Iudex, I see now that that was your idea too. At last, I now understand the true purpose behind this position. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual understanding between us. And I have even attempted to feel as they feel. You are a devious one, Focalors. Things being as they are, surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Nervillet. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Iudex Nervillet, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
What just happened?
Was that bright light some sort of mystery?
But since we're all
It's time to end this. We must meet.
Didn't you say just a moment ago?
I have gained the strength sufficient to deal with it. Through certain means, I now have the... We should seize the opportunity to pursue our quarry. Traveler, now that the oratories can no longer function, I require an the root of the calamities befalling Fontaine, the beast that enacts the prophecy. Its name is the all-devouring narwhal. Come with me, traveler. The hour of execution has come. Find a way to attack it from within. I shall share a part of the ancient rabbit's power with you. Though we're together. I can feel its sorrow turning into hostility.
Surge.
The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility. Chance will present itself. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its roots from within.
Strike a pose!
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It should have been my job, but... oh well. It was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meantime. Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point, but they bumped into one another earlier than I thought. What a blunder. I suppose I'll have to swing my sword.
That power... Who are you exactly?
Paimon has an idea. From what she said earlier, she must be Child's master. It's just that he gave us the impression that she was, less...
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But you, on the other... So you may speak to me as equals. I have to agree. It's a strange use of a planet's primordial waters just to raise an all-devouring narwhal. That kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It eats too much. And I have more important things to do with my time than pet sitting. The only thing that creature has going for it is its looks. All in all, it fails as a pet.
Miss Skirk? I think you might have missed the point.
The point
Well, being that this pet, so what sort of person is your master? Well, Child's master's...
Oh, right. So his name is Sertologi.
I am unfamiliar.
Huh. So master isn't sufficiently famous.
The foul.
Still nothing? Well...
Ooh, that one we've heard! Rhine part of the Hexen Circle. She's Albedo's mom, right?
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names and titles from my master. But I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a similar sort to Rhine. They are both pursuing some form of perfection.
Wait! Didn't you also mention a vision?
Actually, never mind that. That the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its... Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet's deep seas to digest. As such, the fontaine back on the surface has most likely been In other words, the prophecy that you've been...
What?
Not to worry. Focalor has...
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Farina will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Hey! Help! Over here! All hands, initiate emergency rescue! Hurry! Hey, lend a hand! Look! The water's receding! It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
see what is wrong.
The Solo renewed! The Suite de Rasula talks post-disaster rebuilding. I recently visited Poisson to meet with old soil can still give birth to new bloom. Skyship Winglet, lunar brain of the Fontaine Research Institute. The various disputes that have arisen on account of Mr. People always call the first... Wow! Paimon barely recognizes the people in the reports. Are those really Jurier and Navia? They sound like real big...
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The value for these big scoop. Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a...
Paimon's curious too!
And that's exactly why I'd like you to come conduct interviews with me.
Are you...
Oh, this time will be different.
Oh, it's you. What brings you all here?
Hey, we're just...
I'm here to update myself on how things are going here. Oh, the Fatui are here too!
Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garunt Snezhevich. He represented the Knave in sending us a large amount of supplies, and is helping with our work. Our residents are hard at work.
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of yours. But if you don't mind, could you not emphasize our role too much in your report? It's not charity we're doing here. We just happen to share the same interests as the Spina.
I get where you're coming from.
That would be fine.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
We finished laying down the construction.
Huh? You're here too, Clarion?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole duel.
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson.
Oh, wait just a moment. Do you mind me asking a few questions?
Forget it.
I see you're the...
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake...
Of course I will. I'm not gonna let her off that easy. All right, then everyone...
How did it go? Was it a good shot? Did Paimon look cute in it?
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots. All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is of the essence when it comes to the news. And fresh. Also, not to brag, wow, you really...
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview.
Whoa, you're welcome.
That's a...
In truth, I told him that it was better.
You're right.
Stay safe now. And
You seem curious about the fortress.
of course,
But he did invite you to...
2 large pots of...
I have to agree.
Speaking of...
Well,
Wow, it's like... What flavor of biscuits would you...
Me?
All right.
I'll go over the newly arrived...
That works great for me.
Huh. Is it...
I did. It was a gift from Sijuin. Want to give it a try? I think the color would suit you, too.
Time to shine! Wow, guess we're here again, huh? There's a real nostalgic feeling to this place.
Looks like you've been missing us.
Duke! Did you come up?
Of course.
It's an honor to...
No need to thank me. But that...
Of course.
All right then. This way. It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her...
Sir, please.
but...
No, I just...
Now, I might not look it, but I act the boat that brought it. Still, if I might ask, where's that flying
Looks like...
I have to apologize, but that ship is present...
Really?
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps you'd like to take...
Did you really have to use the word cup? Well, then, 2 sober...
Is my hair messed up?
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. Oh, seems like everyone's here. Would any of you like to try this?
See...
Hey, Miss Charlotte. Why don't you, take some...
Sure. Sure. Do I have to smile? So, how have things been at the fortress?
Same old, same old.
Other than that flying ship.
That's why I decided...
You're too kind, sir.
I see.
He sure did...
I'll tell them that there's...
Oh,
What change can there be? As to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave those...
Hey, everyone. The photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it a...
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, Traveler, let's go.
There'll be a...
Maybe. Who knows? All right. Last stop, the docks. Julia mentioned that she stayed in touch with...
Traveler, Paimon. Ah, and Miss Charlotte.
Would you like a magic pocket? What sort of gadget? It's a wondrous trick of friend. You could just make a friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine? To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have your...
Oh. Lynette sure is working hard to help Fremine socialize.
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even wants to...
Yes, I was planning to first introduce Pear as...
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Oh, it'll work out.
Lynette, could you...
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone the moment. Father says that you did a great deal during the...
That's all right.
Oh, I guess you haven't heard. Well... After Lady Farina left, Father and Monsieur Neuvillette opened negotiations, during which he gave Fontaine's gnosis to her as a... diplomatic gift.
A diplomatic gift? A gnosis?
Yes, I was quite surprised at first myself. But when I thought it could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child, or as the... Furthermore, Father did also lend
That's true, but this...
I would agree, but I've also heard that it...
so there's...
I suspect you'll have to ask him about that yourself.
Isn't he real busy? But back to the topic. The gnosis was given to the knave, right?
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya to recover from his wounds. I hear that the recent disaster really did a number on his health.
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the Fatui.
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
Father!
Well, what do you know? Come to the docks to see how my children are doing and meet the traveler by chance. Please do not pay my...
Are you going to take the gnosis back?
That is our duty as harbingers, yes. Don't be too preoccupied with sides. The goal of the Fatui concerns not a single place or person, but the entire world. With such a grand goal in mind, it is inevitable that we must wear many masks. Switching my masks is something I've always done. Well, that depends on many things. No one truly knows what the future holds. As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners. A vision? All right. I'll remember to...
And that's a wrap for me. Huh?
Greetings, Miss Journalist.
Hello. If I'm not mistaken, there are diplomatic channels.
That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like. The sea breeze is quite pleasant.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled interviews. Thank you.
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, Traveler, Paimon, you take one too.
To move things about?
That's right. Funny. I was giving out magic pockets when we first met too. And I guess this must be life. We will all follow our own... All right then. We'll be handing out pockets in some other districts later.
Well, guess we sent Charlotte off. Shall we go see... to the fortress! Ooh, he really is there! So, you really are here, Neuvillette! Paimon didn't think you were going to have free time this hour of the day.
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met Mr. Linney. He took the time to greet me earlier when he passed this way. In any case, you came at a good time. I was just considering reaching out to you to set up a meeting, so I may explain some things that I haven't had the time to before.
Aw, Paimon's glad that you remembered. Thank you for... Alright, let's have it then. How was Fontaine actually saved? The whole business is still quite the mystery to us.
It is strange.
Whoa. So that's what happened? Focalor destroyed the divine throne of the Hydro Archon and restored your power to you, transforming you. But Paimon still doesn't quite get what you...
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons, Fontanians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordial sea, with constitutions similar to that of Mimic. But so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to grant them true blood, after the fashion in which life was first brought into being. In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontanians became true humans, and thus would naturally no longer be dissolved by water from the primordial.
Focalor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Your verdict was the key to making the prophecy appear to have come true while saving them. Yeah, and in a manner of speaking, Focalor finally managed to...
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Oh, that's right!
Leaving aside their intentionality, the two Fatui Harbingers have indeed done much for us. Their sole remaining goal in Fontaine, at least at this point, would seem to be the Gnos. The Oratrice has ceased to function. The Hydro Archon's divine throne is now no more, and I do not need. As such, it has lost all. If the Fatui have impure designs, then we might as well accede to their request now, and avoid unnecessary conflict.
What complicated considerations? Paimon thought you were just giving it...
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. You will soon be heading to Natlan, I presume. I'm afraid that I have little talent as a travel guide, so all I can do is tell you what I know about that land. As far as I'm aware, Natlan can be said to be a nation of dragons.
A nation of dragons? You mean like you?
No, I suspect that I would not find myself welcome there. Unlike ancient dragons such as myself, the dragons of Natlan have undergone long years of development and evolution. Large numbers of them have entered a form of coexistence with humanity. Natlan is also the nation of war. War ravages those lands like an undying flame. There is one other piece of information I got incidentally from my negotiations with the Knave that the Harbinger known as the Captain has thrown his hat into the endless ring of war.
The Captain. Sounds like a real tough customer. Seriously, everywhere you look there's...
I suggest that you fully prepare yourself before going to Natlan. In the meantime, ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. I have investigated his case along many avenues, and I have learned that he once fell into an unknown... But whether it be by sentiment or reason, that should not have been enough to consider him the root cause of the disaster. At most, he would have... As for the judgment passed by the Oratrice, whether it was due to that liability by association, or Focalor deliberately using him to buy time for us on the assumption...
Guess Focalor had Fontanians in mind the whole time. In the end it was... hang on a second. Back when Fontanians hadn't yet become real humans, were the...
Life has always flowed like water. Do you recall how Fontanians...
Yeah! Lynette said the fountain is where...
In truth, even those couples did not know that such prayers were no mere custom. Those Oceanids who were blessed within the spring water would later descend as new humans in the coming months.
Paimon sorta gets it now. Either way, seems like the...
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Yeah, about
Ah, Lady Farina. The people are only aware that her death sentence has not been carried out. She abdicated the post of Hydro Archon and left affairs related to that title to me. I related Focalor's words to her faithfully and completely. After hearing them, she seemed neither saddened nor comforted. She simply said that she was tired. Having said that, she then packed her things and moved out of the opera house. Not unlike how an ordinary...
But she's still...
You need not worry. I will make arrangements to ensure that she will not want for food, clothing. In truth, I am somewhat happy for her. But now that she no longer has to play the role of Focalor the Hydro Archon...
What about you then? What are your plans now that you...
After Focalor passed on, the Oratrice also ceased to function. This matter will directly affect our trials. After much careful consideration, I've decided to take over...
Looks like you're still considering stuff from the perspective of the youth.
As an elemental dragon, there are indeed many things that I must do. As such, before I attend to my other responsibilities, I must first and foremost continue to serve Fontaine as its highest judge. The duty of the Hydro Sovereign and the duty of the Eudex shall... Additionally, the Hydro Archon's departure has brought about another problem, which is that the Opera House...
That's true. That power was derived from the people's... Wait, but the various mechs and machines in the city are all still okay.
As I am now, I have full command over New Musia, and it can serve as a complete substitute. Another reason why I cannot quite leave Fontaine immediately.
Wow. This ancient dragon's a...
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Hang on a sec. When we spoke to Lenny earlier, he mentioned that we guessed that there might be some reason...
No wonder the House of the Hearth is the Fatui's intelligence. So regarding this specific issue, I was just getting... In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this.
Well, we're going to head topside to see what's going on. You...
What next?
The all-devout... I can finally catch this. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons, but with something very similar to a god's curse mixed in. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before.
I do not know what you speak of.
Of course. You should have the remains of the third descender on your person, yes?
Remains?
According to your parlance,
Well, that much is true. After Focalor's divinity faded, she handed her gnosis to me, but I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that you just did.
I've been training with my master, the Foul, ever since I was young, and it is only natural for those who are greater than humanity to possess a different... Regardless, you should probably get rid of objects of misfortune. To live in itself is a blessing.
What do you mean by...
No need to fret. These are...
This third descender you refer to, who are...
Master never mentioned them to me. Perhaps it just wasn't that important for me to know. If you're interested, though, I could ask him. I'll be sure to pass the answer on to you next time.
Next time? You believe we will meet again?
I do. Wait. I have a disciple of my own, don't I? He can be the messenger, then?
That's what she told me.
The remains of... So that's what the Gnosis actually are.
All the same, assuming that there was no misunderstanding or special metaphor at play.
And she said that it would bring misfortune.
If she speaks the truth, then I would simply be putting Fontaine at unnecessary risk by keeping it here. I had guessed that you might already be familiar with this concept. That means that the Gnosis, which are exceedingly element-compatible and can even enhance elemental abilities, do indeed come from the third... I wonder...
Like being... No, let's not think about comparing the Traveler to the dead third descent. That's what you say, but this topic still feels like bad luck. this child recovers, let's get some more answers out of him. Or go look for his master and get the answers that way.
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when information is lacking. The same is true of being at court.
All right. Whatever the case, it's...
Yes. All of Focalors
But she sacrificed herself in the end as a god, and she said...
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god's will. I suspect not. But once in a while I too would guess that if wishes were like the clouds in the sky, they will one day return to the earth as raindrops. Life flows like water, and rain, and what ultimately is...
Perfect. The only ones for the job? Huh. If our help is really that important...
The Adventurers Guild doesn't employ that kind. All it asks us to do is to find a missing person.
Huh? Then why did you say...
I came across this commission while it seems simple, but with the reputation of the adventure...
Well, that's us for sure.
If it proves to be beyond your capabilities as well...
Okay, so who are we looking for? And what is it about this...
This commission was jointly issued by the... But the problem is, they...
They're all from the same village, but they don't even know his name? If so many adventurers have failed to complete this commission, maybe this missing villager doesn't exist at all. Could it be some sort of a prank or something?
Unlikely. Several villagers came by to issue the commission, and judging by their appearance, besides, putting up a in any case...
Alright then, let's go! Paimon's starting to get... We made it to Vamara Village! Why don't we talk to some of the villagers to learn a little bit more about the missing guy? If this commission is really as challenging...
Hello there. You looking to...
Oh, no, we're...
Ah, so you hear about that? To be honest, we aren't holding out much hope. We've pretty much had it up to here and...
So, this person we're looking for, what's his name?
I don't know.
Okay, guess you...
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sound I know it may seem like we don't have anything to offer by way of we just don't know the specifics. Maybe we did at one point, but that information is long. At least that's what everyone...
Alright.
Young guy. In his early 20s, probably. I chat...
Now that you've started talking...
But of course, there aren't many young people like him nowadays. So genuine and pure.
Could he have just...
No, he's not the type to leave.
Huh. Alright, thanks for the information. We're gonna go ask around some more.
It's the guests I hear.
Hi, Grandpa Amadee.
Ah, so...
Could you tell us a bit...
Of course. With my failing eyesight, I'm afraid I can't offer much about. I don't think he would often take, and whenever some as the village.
Wow. He seems like such a nice, but, it's okay. Well, Traveler, what do you think? Paimon thinks so, and nobody has been able to tell us any. Wait. Okay,
You two are the adventurers who just arrived, right?
Yep, sure are. We were just looking into the cave.
I'm so glad to hear that. Thank goodness you haven't given up. I've been so worried the Adventurers Guild might cancel our commission. My name is Atosa, by the way. I grew up here in Vimara Village. Anyway, I just want—
Yeah, no need to worry.
What a pleasant surprise! Truly an extra slice of joy. Shower me with praise!
Jewelry's out of stock, but we have some new items in.
Join the Adventurers Guild.
I can't wait to see my adorable daughter again.
Seat with a view.
Tea parties are a must for the well-mannered. If you'd like to learn the proper etiquette, I'd be happy to teach you. Strike a pose! Boring! Isn't there anything else more interesting to do? Strike a pose! Too popular can be such a hassle. Who knew the people would adore me so much?
Laid bare.
Wayne.
Yeah.